So today I'm going to tell you about how to sketch a graph of the sine x. So firstly, if you want to sketch a graph of sine x, you need to know about some of its characteristics. So the domain of this function is, it has a domain which is all real number, and the range would come from -1 to 1. This is about the domain and range. Besides this, we need to talk about the period. So the basic function y equals sine x, the period is 2 pi, which means after going straight 2 pi, it will repeat again, the shape will repeat again. And another thing about it is the amplitude. Amplitude is 1, which means it's go maximum to 1 and minimum to 1. So the maximum value and the minimum value in the middle, this is 1 and this is 1 unit. So that's called the amplitude. Now I'm going to show you how to sketch a graph of this function. Firstly, to sketch a graph of this function, you need to define, you just need to graph on one period. So assuming the period is 2 pi, which means from 0 to 2 pi is, the distance is 2 pi. In this distance, you divide it into 4 equal parts. So these are 4 equal parts, and the graph will go this way. So here you have 0 to 2 pi, so half of 2 pi is pi. And this is half of pi is pi over 2. And this is 3 pi over 2. So these are 3 points. And the sine diagram go from 0. It goes from 0. Why? Because you have this table. Again, for sine x, x and sine x, if x equal to 0, pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. X equals to 0 is 0. This is 1, this is 0, this is -1, this is 0. So that's the table. Now, you go with this. 0 is 0, so that would be this point. Pi over 2, 1. So pi over 2, 1, that would be this point. And pi 0, that would be this point. 3 pi -1, this point. And 2 pi 0. And the graph is a curve that looks like a wave, so up and down, up and down. So here you have go up, you have it go down, you have it go. This is one period. If you copy this one and paste to this one, that would have the same shape, same value on the same period. For example, here we decided divide it into 4 parts. Now from here is 0, here's 1, 0, here is -1, and here's 0. You will have the same. So this is how the sine diagram go, and it keep going because the domain of this function is all real numbers. So on this straight line, if you got any x, you will have a y. By copy this, paste, copy this, paste to another period. So that is all about how to sketch a sine diagram.